Hey everyone, Kyle Demas here from OpenAlex. Really excited today to be talking about author profile curation. In the next few months, you're going to see that we're going to be integrating this directly into the user interface. But at the moment, you are able to already submit changes to your author profile to make this better reflect your contributions to research using a Google form. So I want to show you a couple of examples of how that works. If you're like me, at some point you've come across in the OpenAlex database something about your author profile you want to curate. For me, as an example, I've got 3 different profiles that are Kyle Demas, one that has almost all of my publications, and then 2 different ones that are coming because there were publications without affiliation data that it wasn't able to figure out if it was me. So I want to show you how you can submit all of these now. So opening a new window, I'm just going to go to help.openalex.org. If you're unfamiliar with this, we're building out a knowledge base where you can ask a bunch of questions, and hopefully we'll have answers in there for you. But this is the easiest way to find that form. So I'm just going to type in author curation. There's different things that you can type in, but you'll see, how can I fix errors in an OpenAlex author profile? And there's a few other ones that can be helpful and that link to this, but for now, I'm just going to click on this one. And this explains how the author profiles work, but it also has a link to the form where you can submit changes as a user, the 4 different types of changes that you can submit, and sort of what to expect once you do that. So the first one is to update your preferred name. The second is to merge multiple author profiles like I just showed. The third is to remove publications that are on your author profile that shouldn't be. And the fourth is to add publications to your profile that didn't get there that should. So I'm going to go ahead and open this form and give you an example of how that looks. First, you have to type in your email. And this is really important. I'm going here just to put kyle@ourresearch.org as my email. And this is important because we might need to reach out to you to confirm details of this. We're not just going to blindly accept every curation request that comes in. We will have somebody reviewing these, and we might need to ask you more information. So that email is required. The second question is, are you submitting this because of your profile, or is it on behalf of someone else? It's really common for libraries or research offices to submit these on behalf of someone else, and we just want to know which of those is happening. No matter which you click, we are still going to be looking at those curation requests to make sure that there's evidence of that, but it's really important, especially for something like a preferred name. So I'm writing about myself. This is my preferred profile. And you'll see, regardless of what thing you're asking for, you have to know what your OpenAlex author ID here is. So there is a link here, and it opens up to another OpenAlex help desk article on how you can find your author ID. If you've never done that before, here's a few tips. The way I'm going to do it, I'm going to search in openalex.org, and you'll see I have a very unique name. So when I click on one of these, if I click on the I button, it comes to my author profile. And this number in the URL that starts with an A is my author profile. Now, I just want to show you one more way that you can go search for author names. So if I go to openalex.org /authors, you're actually able to search right in here. So if I put Kyle Demas now and hit enter, it's finding those different profiles. And you can see here that there's 3 different profiles. One of them has 24 works, one of them has 1 work, and one of them has 1 work. And you can, if you have a common name like Bob Smith or something like that, you are able to narrow this down using the country of your institution or your institution. But really what you want to do is find that author profile ID. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. I'm going to go back to the form, and I'm going to say, this was my author ID. The next thing it wants to know is what edit is needed to the author profile. Here, I want to merge another profile into mine. And the way that I'm going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and click this and say that's what I'm doing. And it's going to tell me, based on what I selected, what it's looking for. So here you can see I can either paste a single OpenAlex author ID, like this one, or multiple separated by a comma. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to go about getting those. If I go back to that search, I'm going to open both of these in a separate window. And you'll see now I get the OpenAlex author IDs for these profiles. So I'm going to copy this one, put it right here in that box. I'm going to put a comma, and then I'm going to do that with the second one. You should also confirm that these are all your works, of course. I've already done that, but you do want to make sure that these are actually just your profiles and they need to be merged. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in here and hit submit. And now it's going to submit this request to OpenAlex. On our end, every 2 weeks, we have someone who's going to go through and manually check these curation requests to make sure that we can find some evidence of them before accepting them. Once they do that, they will be accepted. If we need more information about it before we can accept it, we'll reach out to that email. But I want to show you one more example, perhaps, of something that you can do. So you might notice here that the display name is different for these 3 profiles. These 2, it's Kyle Demas. This one, it's Kyle W. Demas. And you can see when I click on that, these alternate names are all ways that my name has appeared on publications in this author profile. So Kyle W. Demas, I think I've used the most frequently, but really I prefer to go by Kyle Demas. I don't need everyone to know that my middle name is William, and I don't need that reflected in my author profile. So one more thing I want to show that you can do is from this author profile page, you can also just hit submit another response. You do have the ability to change your display name here. So I'm going to go back and do my email. It was already saved because I just did this. Yes, this is my profile. Now I've got to find that author profile again, and it's got to be this main one. So this is the one I'm looking for. And now I'm going to paste that author ID and tell it I want to change the display name. Next, it's going to ask you what should be the primary display name for your author profile, and enter it how you want it to be displayed. Now, you notice there were some alternate names on this profile. You aren't able to change these. These are actually how your name is reflected on publications. And if you have former names, they'll be on there, but you can check which one is the primary. And there's just a link to more information on that if you're interested. But if I guess I should add here, if you're missing a name, oh, actually, you know what? I'll show one more example of that afterwards. But I'm going to put, for now, Kyle Demas as the name that I want to be here. So not Kyle W. Demas, just Kyle Demas. And I'm going to hit submit. And it was that simple. And again, this is going to go through. And one of the things we're going to be looking at here is whether or not this is your profile that was submitted. If not, we're going to be contacting you to get more information and probably that person. One more example that I think is probably good to bring up on those alternate names is I've actually had another alternate name that OpenAlex does not know how to find, and I'm going to show you what to do with that. For a long time, my family name and my legal name were different. My legal name was Kyle Glenn, and so my theses and dissertations from universities had to be under that name, whereas I was using my family name. That's now changed, and my legal name is Kyle Demas, but you can see there's a separate profile for Kyle William Glenn. And so this does not exist as a name variant on that main profile. So I can't edit this as a profile, but what I can do is merge this profile with my main one. So let me show how to do that. I'm going to go back to openalex.org and find my main profile again, Kyle Demas. Another trick to finding it more quickly is you can sort of just click here and it'll pop up. You don't have to click into the profile and use the URL. So I'm going to copy and paste that and say my email, Kyle@OurResearch. Yes, this is my profile. Here's that author ID. And then here I'm going to say not change the display name, but I'm actually going to merge these profiles so that those publications under Kyle William Glenn will then automatically become part of that, and Kyle William Glenn will become a name variant, but my display name will still be Kyle Demas. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. I'm going to grab this author ID, and then I'm going to go back to that form and hit submit. And now it's going to go through and add that. The last 2 things that you're able to do in here are remove works from your profile and add works. There's actually no works on my profile that I should be removing, but I'll show you sort of what that workflow looks like just so that you get a sense of it. From this, let's go back to my main profile. From this, I'm going to go ahead and do everything exactly the same. I'm going to enter my email address, say this is my profile, paste my author ID, and now select either add works or remove works from my profile. Both of the workflows are the same, but I'm going to show you that. If I hit next here for remove works from my profile, it's saying which works do you want to remove? And here you need the OpenAlex ID. So you'll see this starts with a W and then has numbers after it. And you can remove one, or you can remove a long list if you separate them by commas. just to give you an example, I'm going to pick one of these works here. So I'll click on this one. You can go to the work site and actually see what that work ID is, but you'll probably also notice it popped up here as well in the URL. So if I use this, copy and paste it, I would then just paste that here. If I wanted to do a second one, I would just do a comma and do that, and then I would hit submit. Again, I'm not going to because this is actually my publication, but that's exactly how you do that. And if you found publications that aren't on your author profile, but should be, the workflow is exactly the same. I hope this is helpful. I'm really excited that we're going to be able to start doing author profile curation. Please, because this is new, as you start using it, let us know at support@openalex.org if you think there's anything we can do to make this better. But just so you know where this is going, we're using all of this information to figure out the pipeline to make everything easier to do in the user interface so that you'll be able to point and click. But for now, if you need to make any changes to your author profile, you can do it using this form. All right, thank you very much, and happy curating.